Look closely at the person you are today. Every choice, every reaction, and every thought feels entirely like your own conscious decision. But psychology tells a completely different story about who is actually in control. Studies show that nearly 40% of your daily behaviors aren't active choices at all. They are deeply ingrained habits operating entirely in the background. This means your life isn't shaped by massive, dramatic moments, but by the quiet routines you barely notice. When you try to force a massive life transformation all at once, your brain views it as a threat, triggering stress and resistance. True, lasting evolution doesn't require a loud revolution. It happens through a silent undercurrent. Today, we are exploring 7 daily habits that require minimal effort but quietly hold a psychological power to completely redesign your reality. It all begins the absolute second you open your eyes in the morning. Habit 1. The 5-minute buffer. The first habit is a 5-minute buffer. Most of us instantly reach for our phones the moment we wake up, flooding our brains with dopamine spikes. By hijacking your attention immediately, you start your day in a reactive state of anxiety. Instead, leave your phone untouched for just 5 minutes. Allow your brain to transition naturally from sleep to wakefulness. This simple pause protects your mental clarity before the noise of the world takes over. Meet Sarah. She used to start her morning scrolling through emails and news alerts, leaving her instantly overwhelmed. By implementing the 5-minute buffer, she reclaimed ownership over her very first thoughts. Habit 2. Deliberate environment curation. This leads directly into the second habit, deliberate environment curation. Your surroundings constantly whisper instructions to your subconscious mind. If your environment is chaotic, your internal mental state will mirror that exact chaos. Environmental psychology shows that physical clutter competes for your neural representation, restricting your ability to focus. You can change this completely by taking just 2 minutes to curate your space before you leave it. Clear the dishes, wipe the desk, or reset your bed. You are signaling to your future self that their peace of mind matters. When you return to a clean space, your brain experiences a subtle drop in cortisol. Habit 3. Microjournaling. The third habit shifts our focus inward, the practice of cognitive reframing through microjournaling. You don't need to write pages of text. Just write down one single sentence describing exactly how you feel and why. Psychologists call this affect labeling. Putting your negative emotions into words actually dampens the activity of your amygdala. Instead of being trapped inside an emotional storm, you become the objective observer of it. Consider the difference between telling yourself everything is going wrong versus writing down, I'm feeling anxious about my afternoon meeting. The first is a helpless trap. The second is a specific problem you can easily solve. Habit 4. The 20-minute physiological reset. Our fourth habit targets how we interact with our bodies. The 20-minute physiological reset. Our minds and bodies exist in a continuous loop. When stress builds up, it physically accumulates in your shoulders, your breath, and your posture. By dedicating 20 minutes a day to a brisk walk, gentle stretching, or deep breathing, you break this physiological loop. This tells your nervous system that you are completely safe, flipping the switch from fight or flight to rest and digest. You will notice your racing thought begin to slow down simply because you allowed your body to lead the way. True mental stillness often begins with physical movement. Habit 5. The intentional consumption diet. The fifth habit changes how you absorb information. The intentional consumption diet. We live in an era of unprecedented digital noise. Every piece of media you consume is a seed planted directly into your subconscious mind. If you constantly consume outrage, gossip, and negativity, your brain naturally builds a hyper-vigilant, cynical lens of the world. Guard your attention as fiercely as you would guard your physical home. Choose to spend 15 minutes a day reading something educational, listening to an inspiring podcast, or engaging with art. You will be amazed at how quickly your daily inner monologue shifts from anxious to inspired. Habit 6. Radical active listening. This brings us to the sixth habit, which focuses on your social world. The practice of radical active listening. True connection is incredibly rare. Most people don't actually listen. They just wait for their turn to speak. In your next conversation, make it a game to completely understand the other person's perspective without formulating your reply. This not only transforms your relationships, but it quietly trains your brain to step outside its own ego. People will notice a magnetic shift in your presence, all because you offer them the rare gift of being truly heard. Habit 7. Evening identity alignment. Finally, we arrive at the seventh and most critical habit of all, the evening identity alignment. Before your head hits the pillow, your brain begins a process called memory consolidation. What you think about right before sleep heavily influences how your brain rewires itself overnight. Instead of reviewing your failures or worrying about tomorrow, identify just one small thing you did today that aligns with the person you want to become. You are anchoring your identity in growth, ensuring you wake up with a baseline of subtle confidence. Conclusion. None of these 7 habits require hours of extra time, massive financial investments, or exhausting willpower. They only require consistency, operating like tiny drops of water that slowly carve through solid stone. Remember, who you become over the next year isn't determined by a grand, loud promise you make to yourself once. It is determined by the small, quiet choices you make when nobody else is watching. Pick just one of these quiet habits to begin with today, and let the silent transformation take root. Subscribe to join our community of growth, and leave a comment below sharing which micro habit you are choosing to build first. Thank you for watching. Protect your peace, curate your space, and keep building a better version of you, one quiet step at a time.